Hello everyone, welcome to Film Recap. Today we are going to watch movie name called Romulus. It is horror, thriller movie. A spoiler alert. The movie begins in orbit amid the USCSS Nostromo's wreckage. A sample from the wreckage of the ship is collected by a Wayland, Yutani corporate probe. The remains of the xenomorph are then taken by a group of researchers for more analysis. Rain Carradine, an orphan, works on the Jackson's Star mining colony with her synthetic human, Andy, a broken android, who she calls her brother. Rain is informed that her mining contract has been extended by 6 years when she attempts to terminate it. Rain then has to repair Andy after witnessing some mischievous kids beat him up. Shortly after, Rain's ex-boyfriend Tyler sends her a video message asking her to take Andy on a covert operation. Rain and Andy reach Tyler's base, where they meet his fiancé, Navarro, the crew's pilot, his sister Kay, and their cousin Bjorn. To securely transport themselves to the Planavaga, which would take 9 years to reach, the crew intends to break into a defunct Wayland Yutani ship and steal cryostasis pods. Andy is especially needed because he can enter the ship's terminal, because you also made him. Rain isn't entirely on board, since she thinks they'll get into problems and they want to use Andy for something risky, but Tyler persuades her to go along. The six board the Corbelan, a mining craft, and fly above Jackson's Star, where they get the closest possible view of the sun. After that, they reach the station, which is separated into Romulus and Remus parts. Tyler, Bjorn, and Andy go in search of the pods. Rain attempts to tend to Kay after she throws up. Kay urges Rain to keep her pregnancy a secret from Tyler after Rain discovers she is expecting from some useless. The Navarro tells Rain that Bjorn's mother perished inside a collapsing mine, because a synthetic opted to sacrifice her and the 2 other miners in order to save over a dozen others, which is why Bjorn acts like a jerk toward Andy during their hunt for the pods. Since Andy was never supposed to go to Yovega, they arrive at the pods to discover that there are only 5 and that there is only enough fuel in cryostasis for 3 years. Thereafter, the men locate a lab where Andy prevents Bjorn from stepping into a massive hole, and they also discover the upper portion of another synthetic. As the ship goes through a lockdown, the guys continue walking until they reach a room where they are locked. A wall full of frozen facehuggers begins to thaw nearby. While Kay is sleeping, Rain and Navarro proceed to assist the guys. When they locate the synthetic, it momentarily comes back to life, before Rain takes out its module to swap it out with Andy's. After Tyler completes this, Andy pauses to recharge. One of the facehuggers almost lands on Bjorn's face as the others begin to jump into the water. Andy wakes up again and prevents a facehugger from grabbing Tyler as Rain tries to smash the door open. The facehuggers begin quickly creeping after the lads as they leave the chamber. When the team closes the door, Navarro is grabbed by a facehugger. Andy reboots to become more devoted to and focused, while the crew attempts to remove the facehugger off Navarro. The group plugs up Rook, the dead synthetic, to bring him back to life in order to determine how to assist Navarro. He explains that since they are about to encounter a xenomorph directly, they are all essentially doomed. When it was found to be alive, Rook shows the corpse of a xenomorph and how it slaughtered the Romulus's researchers before being shot dead, but its acid blood destroyed the ship's remnants. Then, in order to remove the facehugger off Navarro, Rain suggests that they freeze its tail. She awakens as a result, but Rook makes it apparent that she is still doomed because of what will happen next. Both Navarro and Bjorn begin to bolt onto the Corbelan. When Navarro begins to feel ill, Kay can see that a chest burster is developing inside of her by using an X-ray flashlight. Before the chest burster blasts out and kills her in front of a horrified Kay, Navarro collapses and starts frothing at the mouth. Less than an hour before impact, Navarro's convulsions compel her to kick a lever, causing the Corbelan to crash into the Romulus's hangar bay and propel it toward the Jackson Star asteroid belt. Rook discusses their goals as you synthetics with Andy as Rain and Tyler head to the hangar. After Andy returns, they attempt to raise the station's temperature so the xenomorphs can't see them. They enter and discover the Romulus crew's bodies. Kay and Bjorn try to exit safely in the meantime. Bjorn tries to fry the xenomorph that emerged from Navarro with a cattle prod, but it begins to spill its acid blood over him. This causes him to slowly burn and die, until a large enough blob falls upon his chest to complete the task. As the xenomorph pursues her, Kay gets in touch with Tyler. She manages to reach the others outside the hangar. Andy declines to assist Kay, since he is aware that the xenomorph wants them to open the door, so it can kill them all. Rain protests, but the xenomorph catches Kay and drags her away, unintentionally telling Tyler that his sister is pregnant. Rain smacks Andy out of rage but soon regrets it. Andy invites Rain and Tyler into the lab, where they discover a human-alien DNA hybrid that Rook refers to as the Prometheus strain. But Andy is now intent on carrying out his orders in accordance with the company's objectives. The cocktail was tested in a test on a rat, and the video shows how the rodent recovered from its initial illness. In order to protect Rain and Tyler from the xenomorph, Andy provides them with M41 pulse rifles. The final outcome is a dead rat xenomorph hybrid in its cage, but they miss the rest of the rat footage as they depart, which shows something terrifying growing out of it. After passing along a hallway, the three discover Kay comatose, but alive in a xenomorph cocoon. Rain intervenes and tries to encourage Kay to stand so she can return to the ship, before Tyler tries to inject her with a DNA sample in an attempt to heal her. The xenomorph then snatches Tyler by the tail and slams its second mouth into Tyler's face, killing him. While Rain returns for Andy, Rain guides Kay to safety so she may go to the ship. Kay uses the sample to inject herself after Rain leaves. Rook informs them that any attempts to flee would be futile, but Rain locates Andy and takes the module away so he can return to his former self. As a number of xenomorphs begin to approach them, Rain has the notion to turn off the ship's gravity, just as they appear to have given up. Rain shoots the aliens with her rifle as they start to float, killing them and causing the acid blood to spread everywhere as she nearly crashes into them. She uses the rifle's recoil to push herself away, but she manages to get to safety in the end. Just as gravity returns and Rain begins to fall, Rain and Andy wind up climbing the elevator. She is caught by the main xenomorph's tail, but Andy descends and uses Tyler's weapon to kill the beast before rescuing Rain. As the Romulus begins to descend onto the asteroid belt, Rain and Andy board Kay again and board the Corbelan. Rook tries one last time to persuade Andy to return to the corporation with the sample, which is use goal, but they ignore him, and he and the rest of the station are destroyed. As they go toward Avaga, Rain places Kay in a cryopod. But as Kay's pregnancy is impacted by the DNA mixing, her vitals begin to deteriorate. She is in the middle of giving birth, which is really painful, and her tummy has swollen completely. As Kay creates an egg-shaped capsule with a human xenomorph hybrid within, Rain assists her. Although the egg is removed by Rain, its acid makes it slide through the grates. As it feeds off Kay's chest and kills her, the child has fully grown to resemble the engineers when she returns to Kay after attempting to arm herself in order to seek assistance. Andy has also been seriously harmed by it. As the ship's temperature begins to drop sharply, Rain dons a spacesuit. The cargo pod is falling toward the asteroid belt due to damage from the offspring's birth, so she tries to pull it away from the ship. The offspring attacks Rain and tries to kill her as she begins to crank the levers to drop the pod. Rain pulls her harness to pull the final lever, sending the cargo pod and the beast into the belt to turn into space dust, while the two fall outside, clinging to their lives. Andy is placed in one of the cryopods by Rain. On the journey to Uvega, she takes one last log before going into stasis herself. She is unsure of what they will discover, but she is confident that she can manage any situation that arises. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to see more videos like this one, enable notifications, and like the channel.